Yeah, I mean, I think Jurgen's kind of said that maybe that was taken a little bit out of context. Look, my view is when you're talking about a replay, you're talking of, there's got to be some sort of threshold, and I don't think a mistake is a threshold for that, irrespective of the consequences. So I think, if we're straying into integrity or misappropriation of the law, then you kind of maybe have a case to say, well, you know what, there's something there, but ultimately, when you strip it all back, it was a mistake. That's what it was. It was a unique mistake. It was, I think people have used an unprecedented mistake, yes, I agree with that, but it was still a mistake. So if your threshold for replays are mistakes by individuals, I would in its current form. I just don't think that technology is ready for our game. I mean, I've got nothing, I've got absolutely zero against goal line technology. It's such a no-brainer, because that's quite significant, but it works for our game. I just think our game is unique. And I know people say, well, let's get referees explaining their decisions. Oh my God, seriously. Could you imagine sitting there listening to a referee explain every decision on the game? I mean, I'm going to the gridiron on Sunday and I love it. I love American football. It's 3.5 hours, mate. Do you want to sit through 3.5 hours of listening? I mean, referees, the measure of who was a good referee was the ones you never noticed. And now we're trying to make them the stars of the show. We're analysing in slow motion yellow cards. And like I said, like we as coaches and players, we're the worst culprits for it because we talk about, integrity and all these things, and yet I guarantee you, watch a game of football tonight, any game, the first throw in, I bet you both teams appeal for it, with one knowing it's not theirs. Yeah, and if you get it, you don't go, well, actually, it wasn't ours, it's theirs. Give it to them. So it's just human beings. We're trying to take advantage. There's nothing wrong with that. We're trying to work within the framework of what we're given, but I just think with VAR at the moment, I said it last week, we think it's going to eliminate, and the more we use it, I think the worse it's going to get. It was there for, what was the term? The clear and obvious error. It seems like everything now, like I said, yellow cards, fouls, corners, everything's getting scrutinised with that. And it's not our game. We're not rugby. We don't have those stoppages. The beauty of our game, what I always loved about, particularly England, was the frenetic pace of football. That's what everyone kept saying. Premier League, the English First Division, that was the difference between some other leagues where you go, it's so slow and ponderous and drives you nuts. Not the English League, it's bang, bang. Why are we trying to take that out? Now, I think part of the consequence of last week was that none of us liked it when they were taking so long for a decision. And I felt last week it sounded like they were rushing it to a decision. So maybe that's a consequence of. So that suggests to me that I don't think the technology in its current form is suitable to our game. But I know that I'll be in a minority of that, and I guess my role within that is to try and sort of accept that, whatever my feelings are, and ultimately there's still going to be an arbiter of decisions, and we have to abide by wherever they come about. I don't know about that. I mean, it's still fun, but I mean, I think I said it to Vince during the week. This is probably the only time where I'm happy I'm 58 and not 38. I don't know what the game's going to look like in 20 years' time, and I'm not sure I would like it with the way it's going, because I've always loved, the fact that our game has more flaws in it, and that, the uniqueness of our game is the goal is so hard to get, and we always focused around that. And usually goals came from either a combination of brilliance or some flaws by someone, a player, a manager, a referee. Something happened and a goal came, and we're trying to sanitise all that by trying to make it into something that I just don't think is our game. That's not what I've loved about it, about football. Like I said, I've loved the imperfect nature of it. And when you're sitting there, analysing every little, like I said, decision, and it seems that we're going that way where people just want, every decision to be right, then that's going to, I think it'll slow down the game invariably. There'll be more interruptions. and they'll take away from what I love about the game. But that's me personally, I'm not. Other people may see it differently.